Welcome to my YouTube channel, 90% Native. My name is Michelle and I garden in Northern Virginia in Zone 7A. So I want to take a little walk around and show you what I've been able to get done in my spare time this week, and then also what I'd like to get done this weekend. So right now in Northern Virginia, we have daffodils blooming. Tulips are starting to show their buds. We have bluebells are starting to bloom, and then I just have some golden ragworts that are about to bloom as well. So I'll show you some of those things. Okay, so first up, yesterday I was able to run out and move some marsh marigolds. I realized that where I had the marsh marigolds, I also had a lot of green and gold, and while that area was a really good area for the marsh marigolds, I have so much green and gold there that I figured, let me just move the marsh marigolds to a different place. And so I put them, kind of crazy, I put them with some purple lovegrass, which marsh marigolds love wet soil and purple lovegrass likes dry soil. So the purple lovegrass, they've done pretty well here in this location, even though it's rather wet. So it's actually a better location for the marsh marigolds, and I've been kind of phasing out the purple lovegrass anyway. So hopefully I can get some of these marsh marigolds going. So right here are the marsh marigolds. We have them all interplanted with the purple lovegrass. And this is the area. You can't really see anything at this point, but it'll fill in a little bit later. If you saw my last vlog, I still have not identified this plant. I'm hoping it's native. This is where I remove the marsh marigolds from, right here. And then right here. And what I did is I went back and got my Jack Frost Brunnera, and I divided it, and this is where I am going to plant this. The Brunnera is not a native plant, but it's not invasive or aggressive, and it's a really good alternative to hostas, because these are supposed to be relatively deer resistant. I have one more to get, and I will I'll build out this area a little bit further here and here, just to kind of have a mass of it so that it'll look good with the big leaves against all the finer leaves of the native sedges. I started removing the green and gold from the edge of this bed, which I talked about, I believe, in last week's vlog. Let me not try and trip over everything in my way. So in last week's vlog, the green and gold went all the way to the asphalt. So I've been slowly this week digging it out and then replacing it with Carex amphibola. And then I still have this whole area here to do. And I've been putting it a couple places. First, I've been putting it over here, lining this side of the driveway with the green and gold. And then putting it, I have these little pavers or stepping stones going over to my neighbor's house. And so I've been putting the green and gold in between those two. So it'll come up here, and I'd like to keep it going down there and then up around the oak tree. And you can see I did some around the oak tree as well. The green and gold like more of a drier environment than a wet environment, so that's why I thought it might fare well a little bit better over here on this side of the driveway. Yeah. I've been chipping away at this sunny native garden bed here. So I've gotten a lot of the leaves out, and then I'm going to put the chipped leaves back in there. And I just need to get everything out from the very back. So back there I have Joe Pye weed and wingstem, and I want to put that over in the hedgerow, and right about where that little butterfly house is, I am going to move a button bush there, and I'll probably do that this weekend. So that's the plan for that back area. I'd also like to do some giant hyssop over there as well, and some grasses. So we'll see what I'm able to manage. But yeah, I do need to get some mulch back down on here. Mulch meaning the leaves that I've chipped up and collected. And you can see my beautiful stand of golden Alexanders, which I love dearly. Took some purple flowering raspberry cuttings. This is Rubus odoratus, and a couple of them are doing well. Some of them aren't, like everyone in there. And then also when I planted a chicksaw plum, I'll take you back there, and I pulled out one of the mountain mints that I had back there, so I just potted that up. Put all my plants under here for the big storm we had yesterday. They'll probably be going in tonight because we're supposed to get pretty cold tomorrow morning. I did some cleanup here in this corner. I took a lot of the Joe Pye weed stalks out that were all back in there, and you can see the bottle gentian is really pushing through the leaves. I don't do anything with the leaves in this bed. Looking really good. There's some of the stalks that I need to take down to the compost. You know, I think the raccoons are getting up on my deck and messing and playing with my planters because I keep finding them everywhere. Like there's one, I don't know if you can see in the yard there, right there, and they just keep ending up in like the weirdest places, like places that I know the wind didn't blow them, but anyway, they're little rascals. I've never actually taken you guys into the bird garden, so I'll go ahead and do that now and show you the chicksaw plum that I planted the other day. So here is the chicksaw plum that I planted the other day. Bare root. Hoping this thing survives. I put a little leaf grow down to mulch it. But yeah, so this is the interior of the bird garden at the moment. The elderberries are leafing out. The 9 bark. Oh yeah, and I'll zoom in here. We have a golden ragwort that has started to bloom. It's a native 9 bark, the straight species. The deer love it, that's why it's in the bird garden now. This caged button bush is the one that I am going to move up to the corner garden. Here's the island garden. This weekend I want to get this cleaned up and ready for the spring. I don't cut the stalks all the way back. If they're pretty strong stalks and they're not falling over, I will probably cut them back maybe to 12 to 18 inches. That way it can provide a little bit of support for the perennials later in the season, and it's also good for the wildlife garden. All this will be cleaned up this weekend, tidied up, and that tidied up. Oh, this is where I put some of the marsh marigold that I dug out right here. We have some phlox about to bloom, and there is actually a marsh marigold starting to bloom. This isn't one that I moved, this was one that had already been there. So last year when I was weeding that area that I just showed you, I pulled out a lot of phlox. And so what I did is I just potted it up into deep cell plug trays, and then I just planted out 2 drifts of them in other parts of the garden. So I'll show you where I put those. First spot is down here, and they're getting very close to blooming. And then I did on the other side of the bird garden another drift of them. So my plans for this weekend include continuing to clean out the flower beds and moving that green and gold to drier locations and putting some more Carex and Fibula in its place to have a little bit more, just to make that area, I just like the way that that area looks when it's lined with a sedge, especially for the front of a garden. And so I'll do that, keep working on that. And maybe a little bit later today after I'm done working, I might seed some more herbs and some more herbs, because even though I feel like I have a lot of herbs, I also feel like I don't have enough, and I'm really wanting to put them in a lot of places this summer and try them. Also, I want to try them to deter deer around my native plants, especially the ones that are particularly aromatic. So like the basil and sage and thyme and things like that. So I want to do a little experimenting with that to see how well that works, and if it means that, you know, some of the native plants that I've avoided, maybe I can start growing if I really hone in and focus in on the scent barrier. Let's see what else. You know, just generally puttering around the garden. That's what I'll be doing this weekend. Okay guys, so that covers it for my vlog for today. Just taking a look at some of the tasks that I was able to get done this week and some of the things that I want to work on this weekend. So yeah, if this content appeals to you, please consider liking, subscribing, or sharing with your gardening friends. But yeah, thank you, and I will see you again next time.